You know, we've all been there, haven't we? We've all been to networking meetings, and the question that everybody asks and everybody dreads at the same time is, well, what do you do? And you sit there and you think, what do I actually do? You know, because you are really good at what you do. You've been doing this for a number of years. You've got clients that pay you, so you've got testimonials, you've got everything. But all of a sudden, for some reason, that question brings you out in a cold sweat. So you start fumbling this explanation, you know, another generic answer that makes you sound just like everybody else. You know, whether you're a consultant, whether you're a coach, or just a general business owner, you know, you have this blurt and cringe phenomenon where you say something, it's like, no, that's not what I wanted to say, but it's too late now, it's gone, you know. And we all struggle with the same thing. It's the cost of sounding generic. It's the missed connections, the lost opportunities, the forgettable conversations, particularly when you say, oh, I do whatever you do, and someone says, oh, that's nice, and basically changes the subject, you know. It's not about lacking skill, it's about lacking clarity. And I meet so many business owners, I work with so many business owners that just skip this foundational work. And to be quite honest, it's a condition. I mean, it should be a condition of starting up in business. It's working out what you're selling, and it's not just coaching or consultancy or whatever. Who you are actually selling to, and believe you me, please, 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 it's not anybody that needs my help. And what you bring to the party. What you bring to the party is your unique story, it's your perspective. It's the only thing that no one can take from you, or if they try, it would be like a tribute band, they'd be no good. So why do we avoid these questions? Do they make us feel too limiting? Are they too specific? Do they make us feel vulnerable? So let's kind of break this down a little bit. So what you're selling, go beyond the job title. How do you tell the difference between two accountants? They've got exactly the same product. The outcome is the same. Why do you go to one rather than the other? Well, you go to one rather than the other because you like them. You know. So what is the specific transformation or outcome that you are offering? Coming back to story. There's a beginning, middle and end to a story, to all stories, and the end is the story, is the transformation. It is, oh, the situation was different at the end. So you can connect up the problem you solve that way with the services you offer. Don't say, oh, I'm a business coach. You say, I help business owners with this or that problem. So that at the end. Don't say as well, I sell to everybody or everybody who needs me. Because if you do that, then you're attracting the tire kickers, the price complainers, the people and the people who want to tell you how to do your job. That is, you don't want those, do you? You know, that's what we're dealing with here is the power of getting specific. So you need to look at your ideal client's actual pain points, because it's not so much a demographic of people that you are listening to or working with. It's the world view of the people whose problems that you are solving. Being specific will attract rather than repel, believe you me. And the third part of this is your story, what you bring to the party. Your background matters because nobody else has got your background. Nobody else works the way you do. Nobody else has got your experience. You know, I'm a copywriter who lived in France for 20 years. As far as I know, and I've been self-employed for knocking 30 years, I have yet to meet someone with that experience. I met loads of copywriters that do different things, but that is my specific thing, is that I speak a couple of other languages. So your background matters. We tend to think of what we do only in the last kind of few years, but there's stuff back in your background, back in your, almost in your childhood. The stuff you learned at school, the stuff you learned at university applies today. I've got a history degree and I'm still using that history degree now. I'm not talking about 17th century millenarians, I'm talking about the skills that I used. Think about all the experiences that shaped your method. Authenticity like that creates connection. And connection is the kind of thing that brings clients closer to you, brings them in, shortens the buyer journey, brings them into your world. So why wouldn't you want to do that? You know, the payoff is clarity does create faster connection. It shortens the customer journey dramatically, because if you start talking to someone's pain points and someone's specific things, then, and I only had this last week, their face will light up and say, "Oh, we need you." People buy from those they understand and trust, and they also buy from the people who they perceive understands their problem specifically. So clear messaging makes for a confident delivery and magnetic presence. Generic messaging just goes falls apart. So the transformation is when you go into your networking meeting and when you go into your networking meeting and you're generic, you're forgettable, and you have these kind of anxiety-inducing moments. And I've had loads of those. I can remember driving back from more than one meeting a number of years ago thinking, what's the point? What's the point of going to these things? Because my message was rubbish at the time. Once you drill down on that, people sit up and notice. You feel confident, you feel clear. The compelling conversations actually lead you somewhere. So you shift from sounding just like everybody else to standing out quite naturally. You'll get to the stage where you don't need to rehearse it anymore. It just becomes part of you. And your expertise finally matches up with the explanation that you give. So, answer these 3 questions to yourself this week and share your before and after. When I say these questions, I mean what you're selling, who you're selling to, and what you bring to the party. Share your before and after in the comments, if you like. Now, if you want to have a little bit of help trying to tell your story, there's a link in the description. It's a workbook, Uncover Your Hidden Story, all for free. And otherwise, like, subscribe, and let's have a conversation about this. And I'll see you in the next video.